My name is Bruce Hurley, and this is a humble tribute to a real man, Frank Bright. My first memory of you was your wedding day. It was all very beautiful, but I was skeptical that my quirky, free spirited friend Deborah Jo would be able to settle down with someone who was so down to earth and, well, normal. I worried that she would get bored and that you would get exhausted. There was even a part of me that wondered how much of her decision to marry you had to do with the fact that she wanted to be known as Deborah Jo Bright. So I don't know if it was dumb luck or genius or the law of attraction, but I do know that it was a bit of magic that brought you together, and some kind of a miracle that the match turned out to be so perfect. After a while, I stopped holding my breath, wondering when the whole thing was going to disintegrate, and instead I started to envy this beautiful relationship and the love that seemed to never stop growing. Deborah Jo wanted a stable, kind, hardworking man to be the backbone of a family, and in return she promised to make him the happiest man in the world. It's easy to see that she kept her promise because I've never met a man who's as happy as you are. But in return, she got so much more than she bargained for. Yes, you were stable, kind, and hardworking, but you had other qualities that went way beyond the call of duty. More than anybody I've ever known, Frank, you are a man who finds happiness in whatever you're doing. Whether you're fixing something in the house, working on a project, hanging out with family and friends, or just watching a movie, you're always relaxed and enjoying the moment. Your passion is boating and fishing, but you're not a person who's waiting for those moments in order to be happy. You bring happiness to everything you do, and in the process, you bring happiness to everyone around you. One of the many things I admire about you is that you're not easily offended by the bad behavior of others. You give people a lot of room to be human, and even though you have your own well-formed opinions, you respect those who disagree with you instead of just trying to make them wrong. That's because you value relationships over ideas and people over things. I've always marveled at how you handle adversity. When the real estate market crashed, when your house was flooded, when your boat broke down, when people didn't keep their word. You never indulged in the luxury of feeling sorry for yourself because in your mind the only thing that mattered was the fact that there was work to be done. You don't see these challenges as interruptions of your life because you realize that they're just a part of your life. I'm sure that from your perspective this is just a practical way of handling things, but it's actually an enlightened philosophy and it has inspired me to approach my own challenges in a different way. Now instead of saying, "Can you believe this bad thing happened?" I just think to myself, what would Frank do? And I say, let's get going. We got work to do. I remember when you hung up that picture of your dream boat so you could look at it every day. Well, I thought to myself, I've seen this before. People put up pictures of things they want and they eventually take them down because it becomes too depressing to realize that they never made it happen. When that picture came down for you, it was because you had made it happen. Sometimes I visualize you driving that Trojan down the whole length of Florida by yourself for days, puttering along with no company but the drone of the engines and the smell of fuel and brackish water. Most people would have gone a little mad, but I know that you were in heaven. You had made this dream come true, and this was your victory lap. Your very, very slow victory lap. I use this story as an example to people when we talk about possessions. Wanting things in order to show off or just because someone else has them is a prescription for disappointment and unhappiness. But working hard for something that will bring you great joy and happy memories is one of the most satisfying and worthwhile pursuits of humankind. You taught me that lesson, Frank, and it's a gift that I will pass down to my son, so it's a contribution that will live long after I'm gone. People who know you casually are likely to notice two things. First is that you're easy to know. Nobody doesn't get along with Frank. Second is that you're what some people might call a real man. You're tall, strong, good looking, you can fix anything, you like to fish, fire up the grill, drink a beer, and watch a ball game now and then. But none of these things has anything to do with who you really are. Who you really are is a man who has always been willing to do whatever it takes to be the friend, husband, employer, neighbor, and father that people needed you to be. You are the man who answers yes to any request and then figures out how you're going to do it. You're the friend who's content to let others shine. You're the selfless husband who has remained loyal and flexible. You are honest and patient and generous and funny and gentle and smart and forgiving and kind. You are all the things that men know they can be, but almost nobody is. And you're the person who has never taken anything for granted because you are grateful for every person and every experience in your life. But most importantly, you are the man who has passed on these same qualities to your son. By your instruction, by your mentorship, and mostly by your example, you have given JJ the greatest gifts that a father can give to a son. He's a happy, well-adjusted, resourceful, brave, and caring human being because he has followed in the footsteps of a very great man. Frank, I hope you know that your contribution to this world goes way beyond what you have earned or created. You have made a positive impact on every person who has ever met you. The love and the lessons you have given to us all are your legacy that will live forever. I love you and honor you, my friend. You are my hero.